Well, aren't you lucky? 2 videos. Hey, aren't you lucky today? All right, so I did a video earlier, and this one is going to be entitled The 4 Fs. And I'm just going to give my opinion on the 4 Fs. Now, the 4 Fs are all to do with fear. Fight, flight, fawn, and freeze. Now, I learned about the fawn and freeze literally today. I always thought it was just fight or flight. So I'll briefly explain these things. So fight is your body's natural way of attacking. So you're in a situation, whatever the situation might be, and your body naturally, without any warrant, without any thought, just goes into fight mode. You just okay. Whether that's an argument, whether that's you're chasing something, whether that's you are actually fighting, or whether that's you're just too stubborn to back down. All right. So that's your fight mode. Flight mode is your body's natural way of moving back from something. Literally, the analogy that I like to use is people say they're not too quick until a dog goes to bite you. You know when you're stroking a dog and you pull away as fast as you can because it's going to bite you? That's your flight mode kicking in. So if you've ever experienced that, that's the flight mode kicking in. And you know it's almost like a sixth sense. I spoke about sixth sense earlier. So that's what the flight mode is. So if you've ever thought, you know, how does the flight mode feel? If you've ever stroked a dog and you've just pulled away as fast as you can and you've not been bitten, that's flight mode. Now fawning, all right, I'll do fawning in a second. Freeze is when you are just so fearful that you are scared to move. You're scared to speak. You can barely breathe. You're just scared to move. That's the freeze mode. You literally just, well, as it is, you freeze. Now, fawning is when you appeal to somebody else's better side. Fawning is when you become, when I say appealing to somebody's better side, you become kind of like an admirer of that person. All right, so if, say, for example, all right, I'll use this as an example. So let's say, for example, somebody's in your face, okay? Now, you can either fight, flight, freeze, or you can fawn. Now, fawning would be appealing to that person's better nature, edification, showing them that, you know, you are in awe of them in a way, all right? They're the 4 Fs of fear. In fact, that's what I call it, the 4 Fs of fear. So how do we control that? Well, you can't because the thing is with fear, and I was asked the question earlier by somebody. Fear is it pushes you one or the other way. Okay, how you deal with fear is whichever side you're going to get pushed on. You're either going to get pushed on the fight or the flight mode. You're either going to get pushed on the freeze or the fawn mode. You know, so there's kind of 4 sides to this. You're kind of in this fear square. You can use analogies. You can use not analogies. You can use acronyms like false evidence appearing real. You can use face everything and rise. But the fact of the matter is we all have fear at some point in our lives. We are all scared of something. You know, I'll again, another example. I've just spent the last sort of 4 days or so, Mindy will sort of verify this, just in sort of, you know, so much freeze mode, I think. You know, kind of like I've been having panic attacks and I've been taking tablets for that, but because of an email that I got, and again, I won't go into details, but it knocked me back. It knocked me for 6. So I've kind of gone into this freeze mode, I think, because, you know, I'm helpless. I'm helpless right now. And that's, I suppose, what freeze mode is. It just makes you just completely just helpless. Paralyzed is the word I was looking for earlier. So you've got to just differentiate between the four. Now, fight and flight, they're just going to be natural reactions. The freeze mode is, again, that's something else that is possibly going to be a natural reaction. You're going to think that you're helpless, but you know how I sort of get through it is I owe a lot to Mindy, really, because I call her the voice of reason. You know, whenever something's happening, she's like the grounded one. So I think it's good to have somebody around you that is grounded, and that can just say, do you know what? I know it's, and these are the words she uses. I know it's easier said than done, but can't worry about it until it actually happens. Well, that's true, yes. And having that support there can relieve the freeze, I suppose, as well. Now, the fawning is something that can be practiced over time, because all you need to do is, it's not a natural reaction, isn't fawning. Fawning to me would be something that you learn and you gain a skill in, and that is when you appeal to somebody's better nature, when you show admiration for them. And you can practice these F's as well: feel, felt, found. Okay, so we've got lots of F's. I might call this the F word. There's lots of titles coming into my head right now. So you've got fight, flight, freeze, fawn, feel, felt, found. Right? The feel, felt, found is a skill that's used in sales, where somebody's a little bit anxious about buying something. So you can then put yourself into their shoes. Again, you can appeal to their better nature. You can empathize, not sympathize, because I think that sympathize and empathize, they are different things. You can empathize with them, so you can put yourself in their shoes. And I know how you feel. There's the feel part. I know how you feel. I've been there. I actually felt the same way. So there's the feel, felt. And then the found part is, what I found was, if I did this, 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 and this, or whatever it might be, things worked out. So you're not necessarily going to get into an argument and say, look, I know how you feel. I felt the same way myself. What I found was, that's just an analogy that you can tie into. Look, I'm not sure what I've done. I'm not sure how I've offended you, but whatever it is, I do know how you feel. If what you're saying to me that I've said or done to offend you, somebody done it to me, I'd have been exactly the same way as you. And for that, do you know what? I apologise. There's the feel, felt, found in a confrontation part. When I say confrontation, I don't mean like abusive relationships or anything like that. That's another story, and that's probably another video. But yeah, so when it comes to the body's fight mode, the fight mode is we want to just attack things. We want to go in there all guns blazing, and it's a natural reaction. All the chemicals in your body start to rev up. And an example that I had the other week, Mindy will tell you. An example that I had the other week was I was in the pub, and somebody came into a conversation, and I was calm. I was like, do you know what? I don't know what you're talking about. That's been there. We've done that. We've got over that. Why are you going back 6 or 10 months? Until the point of this person actually walking out the door, which was probably 15 foot away from me, and saying something to me. I was in calm mode, so I wasn't any of the F's. I was in calm mode until this person said something. I just snapped. I just completely snapped, and I think there was, it took a little bit to stop me from, So yeah, that was the fight mode. That was just something that triggered something. If this person had said what they said, it'd have been done. It'd have been gone. I wouldn't have been triggered whatsoever. But I just got totally triggered. So the fight thing is something that would trigger you. Something that would just make you you're boiling anyway, and you go from you're not boiling anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. You go from 0 to 100 miles an hour in a split second. That's your fight mode, and that's the part that you need to be fearful of, because what can happen in fight mode? A lot. Okay, in fight mode, damage can be caused. Not only to inanimate objects, but to humans. Things can happen in fight mode, so you gotta keep that on a bit of a back burner, okay? And don't let it come out when it really, really matters. So, but it's natural. It is a natural reaction. Flight again is the quick thing of oh, that's hot. Oh, dog's going to bite me. That's the flight mode. That's when you back off. Now, the flight mode can also just be where you vanish for a little while and cool off, or you decide that fight's not going to kick in. You want to go flight mode. Now, flight mode is just something that takes you away from the situation. It's non-confrontational. So fight is confrontational. Flight is non-confrontational. Flight would just be you backing off. You literally are flying. You literally are, look, I'm out of there. And again, the freeze mode is when, somebody, again, I use confrontation as you get some kind of confrontation, you just freeze. People suffer with paralysis for spiders, when I, don't laugh, but when I see a spider, when I used to see a spider, these days I'm not so bad. But when I used to see a spider, I would go full on flight. I'll be out of there. It affects some people differently. Some people just freeze. They just turn into, the thing that you fear the most, you just freeze and become paralyzed. Complete paralysis. And you sort of stiff, can't move, just barely breathing. That's something that you can work on. That's something that you can take your fear and you can work on it. Like, for example, one of my biggest fears was spiders. I don't like them whatsoever. Still don't. I'm still not 100% comfortable. But I had some therapy with a guy called Derek Chapman. He's a hypnotherapist. So look him up. He's on Facebook. He's a hypnotherapist. And he didn't do anything per se regarding the spider fear. But he did say to me, because I actually went to see him originally for depression. And to get me out of this sort of depressed state. I was just unhappy. And we talked about spiders, and he said, over time that will go. So it's like, okay. And over time, it's gone. And now I still won't hold one, but I can certainly get some tissue and smash them. And dragonflies. Yeah, and dragonflies. Unless, of course, just walked in the room. Unless, of course, you are Mindy, then you are not allowed to kill spiders, even though she does not like them. But there is no murder scenes in this house right now, because she aids and abets them and lets them out the door until they want to crawl back in again. And yeah, dragonflies. Yes, Trace, I remember the day you were training. You were training in the conservatory, and this freaking huge dragonfly, and it was massive, came in, telling you it was this big, and you were the one that got rid of it. Yes, you were doing a one-on-one, I remember. But they're just amazing creatures, but they're just scary. So yeah, stuff that. Sorry. So yeah, that's the freeze mode, and then you got the fawning side of things, which again I've explained, and that's just appealing to someone's better side. And again, I didn't really understand what fawning was until it's been pointed out to me. So you can practice the feel, felt, found. And you don't have to use the words, I know how you feel, I felt the same way, this is what I feel. You don't have to use those words. You can just empathize. Again, don't get confused with empathy and sympathy. They're different things altogether. But you can just empathize with somebody And, you know, if somebody's, I don't know, for example, somebody's not 100%, you could just say, I feel under pressure now because Mindy's watching. I feel under pressure. You know, it could just be, do you know what? I get what you're saying. It's just understanding that person. I get what you're saying. So that's like, you know, you felt it. You get it. So you basically saying to that person, without saying, I felt that, you're saying, look, I understand, I get it. I get it. Mind. Yes. Oh, I thought she had a question then. She only puts her hand up and asks a question or has something to say. But not today. I threw myself on the floor. So yeah, so when you're fawning, getting back onto fawning, you don't have to use feel, felt, found. You can just empathise with that person and just, do you know what, I get it. I understand. I know where you're coming from. You know, I've not been there myself, but do you know what, if I was, then I'd feel exactly the same way as you. However, let's work together and let's work through this kind of thing. So, you know, don't panic too much about fawning, but certainly, you know, the practice the feel, felt, found. And again, I'll just reiterate again, I know how you feel. I felt the same way. This is what I found. So you're getting on their wavelength, you're putting yourself in their shoes, but you're also offering solution as well. Because with any confrontation, and this is where fight or flight comes into confrontation. And it doesn't have to be confrontation with a person. It can be confrontation with just anything that you fear. You know, because anything that you fear is a confrontation. It's a confrontation within yourself. You know, I'm not going to say that, am I? Do you want me to say that? Oh, she don't care. Oh. So yeah, so the fear is confrontation within yourself as well as outwardly. It can be inwardly as well. Can you fawn yourself? I don't know. I don't know if you can. You can always give it a try, I suppose. So yeah, this is the hello Karen. This is the right. I don't quite know what would be as to she would be your Karen. But yes, Mindy, it's your Karen. Hi, Karen. So yeah, that's the F word. And that's what I'm going to entitle this, the F word. Hi, Karen. Hi, Trouble. Are you talking to me or her? Who's the trouble? Me? So yeah, Tracy, you asked me to do this this video. I don't know if I've answered any of your questions. I'm not sure if I've given my oh me. Right, okay. Yes, me. Trace, just a bit of feedback while you're still watching. Have I answered anything for you? Have I enlightened a little bit? Have I helped? Just give me some feedback while we're on. And while I'm waiting for Tracy's feedback, still a teacher. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I suppose being a teacher is a good thing, but have I helped is what I'm asking. I've missed it again. Well, the thing is, Karen, is I don't feel, felt, found, etc. new to me. Well, yeah, but you can tie that into fawning, Trace. You can tie that into the fawning. I'm surprised you haven't, because you was a consultant many years ago, and I'm surprised I didn't actually teach you that as a consultant when you were out with the karate club. So yeah, look, feel, felt, found. It's just basically empathizing, getting on their wavelength. Because the thing is, when you're dealing with people, and even not so much yourself, but more with people, and there's that confrontation there. You have to put yourself in their shoes. But then on the flip side, they have to put themselves in your shoes as well. Okay? So being on the same wavelength, being on the same level. One of the sales thing is meet people where they are. So if somebody's coming at you with aggression, meet them in the aggression. And I don't mean get angry with them, but meet them there with, look, I know, I understand, I get it. And that's when you can kind of play the martyr, if you like, and, you know, just to calm the situation, So yeah, thanks for your feedback. So I'm going to call this the F word. Don't forget to subscribe to the Bearded Opinion. Min, seriously? She's literally 10 foot away from me. She can hear every word I'm saying. So don't forget to subscribe to the Bearded Opinion. It's the new channel. I'm going to be doing uploads all the time as much as I possibly can. Any subjects you want me to discuss that you want the Bearded Opinion on, let me know. Don't forget to give the YouTube channel a subscribe. Don't forget to give the videos on YouTube a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and feel free to comment. Comments are always welcomed, as are thumbs up. So I'll be uploading this video now, and we'll call it the F words. People be complaining because it's clickbait, you know, because they're expecting loads of F words. Or Gordon Ramsay's going to have a pop at me saying, you can't say the F word. Right, so I'm going to love you and leave you with that. And that is the Bearded Opinion.